What's up guys, Chris Blevins here. Welcome back to the channel. Out here another morning in La Jolla. It's about 5:15 a.m. Nice calm conditions. 2 to 3 foot swell out of the southwest. So doesn't really get into the launch. Had flat waves at the launch. Seeing if we can find some marks. We're gonna be fishing for yellowtail this morning. So come along, let's see if we can find them. All right, we're outside the reserve line in about 100 feet of water. I got terns and pelicans working all over this zone. The school of birds is tightening up here and there, and they're diving in the water, grabbing bait fish. So I'm not really sure if there's any game fish underneath these birds yet. But what we're gonna do is paddle over to them, meter around, see if we see any splashes on the surface, or maybe any foamers, breezers, rollers. I am seeing some bait getting chased around on the surface. So let's take our little flat fall jig and cast it towards some of this bait. I'm just gonna let this thing sink for a while. Hopefully, if I catch a mackerel, I will put that on my Carolina rig. I'm hearing some splashes around me. Nothing too crazy, but it's looking good around here, guys. Working this bait cloud with the heavy iron and hooked the mackerel. It feels like looks like there's some. I don't know if you can see that. There's some bait on the bottom here and some harder marks above the bait. Looks like it's feeding on it. I would say that's probably bigger greenbacks feeding on small fin bait. But let's see what I ended up hooking here. Okay, nicely hooked greenback. This guy's going on my Carolina rig. Got no water in my bait tank yet. Kinda sucks. Alright, let's send this guy down. Okay, so we caught a decent mackerel on our heavy iron. He was hooked nicely in the corner of the mouth. Not too much damage done to him, so I went ahead and took him off the iron and put him straight on the Carolina rig. Sent him down to the bottom. I measured out about 120 feet of line or so by dropping my Carolina rig down to the bottom. I'm gonna start slow trolling this area in 120 feet. Looking for any sign of those yellowtail. We're trolling our Carolina rig near the edge of the kelp. 95 feet of water right now, but I just did a loop into like 75 feet to get over the kelp. Now we're looking at this big wall of bait here. It's not really looking like too much. When I see, these are hard bait marks, but very uniform. When I'm seeing something like this, I'm thinking this is whitefish, maybe blacksmith perch. That doesn't mean that I don't like these marks, because what might happen is if the fish swim through this, they might even wall this bait off. Even if they're not feeding on it, they'll get it to wall off really hard. And what I mean by that is all these marks here are all kind of uniform and evenly dispersed, more or less. But if a fish swims through this, we'll see that wall off sharply, and maybe even see those reddish colors turn to bright yellow, which would indicate that the bait is getting tighter. Okay, well, my Carolina rig has 120 feet of line out, so it's on the bottom. It's bouncing in the sand. Find the edge of this bait, see if there's any bigger marks, maybe working around there. see if we can get this. Let's see if we can get this bait to react to our jig. Typically, if this is blacksmith perch or whitefish, they're not going to react to my big heavy iron. They're just going to stay in their uniform clouds. But if as I drop my iron into them, they react to it, either following it down or moving away from it or stratifying in the column, then I'll have an idea that maybe there's some other types of bait fish in there, like Spanish or some greenbacks mixed in. But as you can see, you know, I'm working my iron right through that bait and it's just totally unaffected by it. So it's not scared of my jig and it's not trying to eat my jig, which to me says that this is whitefish, possibly blacksmith perch, not the kind of bait that we're looking for. Okay, maybe I'll snag. Sounds like a bite. Dragging on the bottom. Oh. All right, I think I'm snagged on the bottom is all it is. Yeah, fuck. All right, we got some structure here. Let's get my iron up first. Okay. Dang it. Okay, hopefully I don't lose my Carolina rig here, break it off. But let's get back over the top of it first. Oh, crap. Rock pile. So I can feel my weight dangling, which means that the hook is snagged. It means I'm probably gonna have to try to break off this 30-pound. Not an easy task. And I lost my weight. It broke in the middle of the spectra. Well, good thing I didn't have a fish. All right, guys, just had a big blow up right here. Huge splash on the surface. No mammals around to be seen anywhere. Could have been a thresher shark possibly, or it might have been a big yellowtail. When I got over here, I saw a little cloud of bait. Now I'm not seeing any marks or anything, but it was a good looking spot of birds that were scratching, and then I ended up seeing a big splash underneath that looked like a fish. So I'm kind of back in this zone. Let's see if they pop up again here. Since I broke off my Carolina rig, I'm going to tie up a fly liner. So I stripped off about 20 feet worth of line. I'm gonna need to reattach a leader for a fly line. So I'm gonna show you guys how I tie a reverse Albright knot. I actually learned this knot from the Power Pro package. Just looking literally inside the package of Power Pro, and it says this is the knot to tie for braid to mono connection or fluoro. So in my right hand I have 65-pound Power Pro. In my left hand I have 30-pound Iser line copolymer, and I'm going to tie a reverse Albright knot to connect these two together. So first off, take my two lines, braid in my right hand, mono in my left hand, and I'm going to cross them over each other like this, just like an X. I'm going to wrap down 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. Okay, so my braid is wrapped around my mono 9 times. Then I'm going to take my tag end of mono here in my right hand. I'm going to fold it back over all those wraps and pass it back into my left hand. So now you can see my braid is wrapped around my mono 9 times, and the mono is folded back over the area that I wrapped. Next up, we're going to do wraps going back up the other way over both the lines. So now my mono's doubled over here, as you can see. Getting a couple marks on my iron. Okay, so now what I'm doing is, if you notice, here's the last point that the braid wraps over. I'm just going to pinch all that together like this. So I'm holding the folded mono as well as the end of the spectra wraps. Then going the same direction as where I came down, keeping a little tension in my spectra. I'm going to wrap back up 7 or 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. So on my 8 wraps back up, I've got both loops on here. Okay. Now I'm going to pass the tag end of the braid through this mono loop here. So if I look at my main line of braid, and it's coming in, I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of coming in through the back of this loop and forward, like coming from the pole, it comes down this way and in the back of that loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tag end of spectra and go through the loop the same way that the braid went over, like so. Okay, so now, oh my god, you guys, I have a fucking, it's like crazy. Holy shit. Can you guys see this? Holy shit. You guys, this looks like a school yellowtail right here. This looks like this is what I'm looking for. Come on. Come on. Alright, we should probably try to finish this knot. Shockingly, this is still together correctly. So I can still cinch this up. Let's lubricate the knot. And then we're gonna kind of pull both ends together like so. All right, now I'm gonna start teasing the tags to get it to tighten up. All right, this is where the real skill comes into play. You know, you don't want to tighten down one end too much before getting the rest of the knot to come back together. It could cinch on itself and kind of cut the line, especially with fluoro. So now I'm pulling on the main lines and hoping this thing's gonna come together. Okay, she's not quite ready yet. Let's give the tag end a pull. Okay, and the fluoro tag end, spectra tag end. Guys, I got a mark checking out my jig. Come on. Oh, no, no. Guys, that was a bite. That was a bite. Oh, oh man. Well, that might have been my one bite for the day. Okay, anyway, back to this knot, guys, before I almost caught a fish. All right, so you can see it's kind of a little weird right now, but let's just pull it a little more and get it to come together. Does not really take some finesse to get it to come together correctly, but you guys will learn it and then you'll use it. You'll get to know how it comes together after you tie it a few times. All right, that looks pretty good. So let's cut off our ends. Oh man, I can't believe I missed that bite. Shoot. Man, that was not a very hard bite. It kind of felt like how a white sea bass will bite. But the mark, I don't know. Let's take a look at that mark. Oh, shoot. Totally had a lick from that game fish there. Oh man. Alright, as I was tying my knot. Alright, so there's my reverse Albright knot. Normally I'd use a lighter and burn off this tag end. But not gonna mess around with it right now. I kind of want to get fishing here again since I've marked the fish twice right here. But that knot's real strong. All right, now let's wind up about 4 to 5 feet of length for my leader, like so. And let's attach a 4/0 ring circle hook. Oh man, there's Yellowtail around here. There is fish around here, guys. That was a big school that I metered. Then I had that one single fish come in and sniff out my jig. Had a little bump on the jig. Sometimes you're not going to feel a bite, man. You might. It's kind of like I would almost compare it to, now this, people are probably gonna make fun of me for this, but I would almost compare it to like a Senko bite. A lot of times on the Senko, you're not even really feeling the bite. You're feeling when the line unweights, like when the fish picks it up and kind of swims off with it, and maybe you might only see your line swim off. We're not necessarily line watching here, but you will get that same kind of pickup. And it looks like we got a mark under the boat again, guys. Let me finish this Palomar knot here. Okay, what the fuck is this? Keep getting interrupted by big marks. Sorry about that. Okay, so we got my ring circle hook attached with the Palomar knot before I was so rudely interrupted by those marks of big fish swimming under the boat. And I'm going to cut off my tag. And my fly liner is ready to go. 4/0 ring circle hook, Palomar knot, 4 feet, 5 feet of 30-pound monofilament leader. Actually, that's a copolymer. I like this stuff. I like the smoke color too. Disappears in this chalky water. All right, let's get our tackle put away before I dump all this in the drink. Up the hatch. I had one mackerel in the tank. Let's see if he's still alive. Oh yeah, he's alive. Get this guy out. Gotta be careful that he doesn't swim around my iron, so I'm gonna go ahead and just bring this up first. All right guys, we're back on the move. Got my fly liner out. Got a nice greenback trolling. You guys take a look at these marks that we saw. Why don't you guys let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that was Yellowtail? You think that was bonito? You think that was just like a giant school of mud marlin, like swimming around, synchronized swimming and dancing to like a Fantasia type song? I don't know. They didn't really want to eat my jig. I definitely had my iron down in them, but could not get a bite. So liking what I see though, that was pretty much top to bottom school. So let's stay in this area and see if we can locate him again. Guys, I just had a yellowtail splash on the surface right in front of me here. I just saw his tail out of the water. Thinner. Up on the surface. Didn't have the camera rolling, unfortunately. He was right there, guys. Confirmed yellowtail. Saw the yellowtail on the surface. Shoot. Alright guys. Dang it. Well, that confirms my suspicion. Thought I saw some yellowtail splashing around over here. And then once I got over here, I never saw him on the sonar, so I couldn't really confirm. But yeah, that was a yellowtail on the surface. I don't even think it was feeding. I think it was just kind of chilling. Probably I might have scared it because it was only about 20 yards away. I tried to cast ahead of where I thought it was swimming. Well, my fly line's out here, so let's stay on the move. Dang, that was pretty cool. Looked like a decent sized fish too. All right, let's keep moving. Big school of fin bait here. I got a greenback on my jig. Come on, let's get the foamers. I know there's yellowtail around this zone. Then we got bait up on the surface. Still got that mackerel on my jig. Shoot. Guys, that looked really good. Had that tight, fuzzy cloud of bait. Smaller fin bait probably. Then I had some bigger, harder marks come through, which ended up being big, fat mackerel. Oh yeah, oh yeah. What's this? It's coming right up. What is this? Is this a shark? It's gonna run. It's gonna run. What is this? It doesn't know it's hooked. It doesn't know it's hooked. What is this? It's something heavy. Is it gonna wake up? Is it gonna run? What's happening? What is it? It's right here, guys. I can't see it. It didn't run. Yellowtail around here. Let's get this mud marlin off my hook and get back on the move. My fly line's getting wrapped around me too. If I got a yellowtail that hit this fly line, I'd be so screwed right now. It's unfortunately just a pelagic stingray there. I knew something was wrong because when I hooked into the weight, it didn't run at all. Just kind of hung out under the boat. Got me excited there for a second because we had nice bait marks and we also had some bigger fish swimming through. I've had yellowtail splashing up on the surface here. Had a finner, yellowtail just sunbathing. Also marked a big school. Dang, it's looking really good here, guys. Let's see if we can relocate the bait and see if we can get back on the action. Guys, there's another yellowtail on the surface right here. Saw his fins out. So exciting. Yellowtail just sunning himself. Oh, dog. Poop dog. Whoa. What the hell is he doing? He's scaring my yellowtail. Yellowtail on the surface. Had a cast right on him. Saw him react to my jig. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, it seems like those yellowtail kind of went MIA. Gosh, looked so good there for a second. I'm 100% certain that I had multiple yellowtail in front of my jig several times. Did see a couple of fish that were splashing up on the surface. I also metered the fish on the sonar as well. So gosh, night and day difference from last week. But yeah, skunked again. Other than that pelagic stingray. Shoot, I really thought I was gonna hook into one today. 100% confidence that I was in the right area and I was doing the right thing. You know, you guys, if you want to catch a yellowtail, you're gonna have to stay committed to targeting the yellowtail. Not only all day, but day after day after day after week after week. Probably notice I haven't caught a single fish in any of these tutorial videos. I'm still posting them. You guys have seen plenty of videos where I'm catching fish, even releasing some big fish. And if you guys want to see that, you can go take a look at some of these other videos. Been fly lining this one mackerel for about 4 hours. Had this thing on forever. He's just been swimming the whole time. Never even turned on my bait tank once. Never even tied up a sabiki. I don't think I've tied up a sabiki in 2 weeks. Just out here fishing the iron. If I catch a mackerel, it'll go on live bait. Really nice to see the fish moving in here. Certain that the fishing is going to be good coming up in the next week or two. This is the way it is. When you're fishing for big game fish, you're going to get skunked. Largemouth bass fishermen, you know, they're fishing those giant swim baits. They might go weeks without a single bite, but when they get their bite, it's the right bite. So let's just looks like we got here, guys. We got a mark on the sonar here. This looks like a fish. Big old arch here. Damn, another really nice mark. Come on, come on. Oh God, that really looked like a fish, guys. Dang. So, like I was saying, you gotta be able to get skunked over and over and over and over and over again. Now it's probably 11:30 and I've seen some of the most activity on the meter as I've seen all day. Would have never seen it if I didn't stay out here and keep fishing for this same exact way that I've been fishing in these videos. You know, I just don't stop, just keep going, grinding, grinding, grinding. And I'll go weeks, months without catching a fish sometimes. You guys don't ever see that. But then I'll go months where I'm catching a fish every trip. So hopefully now that we're doing some different kinds of content, I'm hoping I'm going to be able to actually produce on one of these tutorial videos. But you know, the feedback that I've gotten from you guys has been so good. I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, kind of giving you guys some information that hopefully will help you. If nothing else, I hope it inspires you, motivates you to get out there in the water and fish however you want to. So yeah, let's wind in our fly liner. He's been swimming all day. Do it. Pretty rad day on the water. Really good yellowtail sign. Really good. I would have been confident staying out there all day. I would have continued doing that all day. Fortunately, I got some other things to do today, so I could only give it the half day. But man, I was seeing them all the way up to the end. You guys see some of those marks. Looks really good. We hooked that one pelagic ray. That was pretty weird. That one got hooked on the snagged mackerel on the iron. That's kind of weird. Had several casts right on them. Couldn't get him to take. If anything, I only just spooked him with my jig. Saw the yellowtail finning up on the surface. So I had casts on him with the surface iron. I had drops on him with the yo-yo. I had my Carolina rig out, got broke off, had my fly line, never got touched. I'll be on it again soon. Once again, you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment, a like, a dislike. Whatever you want to do. Any interaction with the channel counts. So I really appreciate the support you guys have given me so far. And I'm going to keep trying to give you guys the videos you want. So thanks again. We'll see you at the launch.